Hello, I am the Ronin Pawn, and this is NationStates, and this is Pawnsilvania, the region in which my realm of PawnTucky exists. And I was just pouring through some of the statistics and found out that as a region, Pawnsilvania is ranked 78th in the world for most World Assembly endorsements. Is that pretty high? It seems pretty high. We're doing absolutely well. I'm recording this right after I recorded the last one because I'm having fun with this. So I'm going to go over and address my latest issue, which is apparently minorities demand representation in TV soaps. Is it the blacks? PawnTucky's TV soaps, famous around the region, have come under fire for their lack of ethnic diversity. Every night, my family and I sit down to watch The Brash and the Backstabbing, says Anakin O, former Skywalker. But where are the Lilliputians like myself? Where are the Bigtopians, the Marshnorrians? People from those cultures can be just as brash and backstabbing, but we never see them on screen. The government must act to remove this silent apartheid from our TV screens. I have to hear from the other consoles. I need to, from the Xbox One, from the PlayStation, from the Wii N something, NXU. What is? Just come up with a name for the thing. You can't just stick letters on the end of something and say it's new. Those Lilliputians don't know how good they have it, says Nyota Pasteur, spokesperson for the Tasmanians Against Ethnic Stereotyping. Tasmanians are on television all the time, but always in crude, stereotypical roles. The answer is not to enforce ethnic quotas, but to award government prizes for the positive portrayal of minorities. That'll work better and be cheaper, too. You've got to be kidding. We make soaps here, not documentaries. I should be able to put whichever characters I want into my shows. Quotas? Government prizes? God save me. Hasn't the government got anything better to do? Why don't they just back off and let society work out these things on its own? Now, as a member of the entertainment industry, as an artist, I want to retain creative freedom. At the same time, if we just let people run around do whatever they want, pretty sure there was a supreme lack of ethnic diversity in this year's Emmys. You can do whatever you want in your show and retain artistic freedom and control, but if you happen to present minorities in a positive light, there will be a little bit of gov money on the end of it for you. How's that sound? Modern music, just noise, citizens say. Modern films, too confusing, audiences complain. Comedy, drama, rule box office as action flicks fail. Good. As always, it should have been. Socialists welcome increased public spending. Of course, long live the pawn! Let's just check in on PawnTucky here, the rogue nation of PawnTucky, a corrupt dictatorship, which I'm working on that, the corrupt part. You're making assumptions. The average tax rate is 70.2% and even higher for the wealthy. That's right. If you want to be wealthy, then you're going to end up at the bottom. You go to the top, you end up at the bottom. You can do it again if you want, but it's a roller coaster, man. Up and down, up and down. You hit that 100% taxation point, and then boom, you're at the bottom again. Which is how I like to play video games, starting over. So I think an entire nation should be run that way. The struggling PawnTuckian economy, worth 170 billion beers a year. I don't think we're struggling if we got 107 billion beer. Hey, I need another beer! The private sector mostly consists of enterprising 10-year-olds selling lemonade on the sidewalk, but the government is looking at stamping this out. Oh, I'm not just looking at it. Those 10-year-olds are going to be flogged. Flog them! Average income is 21,413 beers and distributed extremely evenly with practically no difference between the richest and poorest citizens. Imagine having 21,500 beers. You would never be sober and life would be grand. High-income earners pay a 100% tax rate. That's right, the mining industry is making inroads into environmentally sensitive areas. Really? Max Berry is this year's Miss PawnTucky, and the government awards prizes to television shows featuring stereotype-breaking minority roles, scoring a -4 on the Stark-Dean Displacement Index. Screw you! Screw you with your I don't do. Look at this, top 10% for most extreme and most authoritarian. What are you top 10% in, Hillary? At least Trump is top 10% dictatorship. Oh, you can pay for this game? I was just trying to get rid of the ads. You can pay for it, and then it'll get rid of the ads. Remove the ads for a supporter for $2.99. I'm gonna do that. Right now. God, $2.99, huh? I mean, I like it. I'm gonna do that right now. Because I'm not cheap. Oh, God. I did it. Feels great. Glad to be a supporter. Thank you for purchasing a supporter account from the NationStates store. You will note the site is now gloriously ad-free, just like my country. The next time you catch a glimpse of the ad-supported version, you will recoil in horror and wonder how you ever put up with it. If you do miss the ads, though, you can bring them back via your nation's settings. Yeah, just in case we need those, Brought to you by Burger King. You'll probably get in trouble for doing that. No, it's not brought to you by Burger King. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some issues to look at. A religious scholar was recently arrested over refusing to serve in PawnTucky's armed services on moral grounds. Small, but very vocal demonstrations have started over compulsory military service and a citizen's right to be a conscientious objector. Conscription flies in the face of my religion, declares Heston Cockburn, Grand Poobah of the Order of Max. It clearly states in our holy book that thou mayest not blow thine enemies to tiny bits in thy mercy. We were put here to bring peace to the world, not destroy it. You make a compelling argument. I didn't want to force people in who have a religious objection. I just thought it would make all of us better, rounder people to serve. I mean, we're not going to have wars, are we? Do we have wars in this? What do you think, Burger King? I can't believe you're listening to these spineless liberals, yells Field Marshal Zeke Ward. You let these crazy zealots have their way and we'll find ourselves open to all sorts of threats. Bigtopia would have a field day. Let's remind these wackos who's in charge. Is Bigtopia a threat? I thought it was McDonald's Taco Bell. We hardly need to be so black and white about it, interrupts Kalo Sato, your Churchmaster General. These people don't want to kill. It's against their beliefs, so we won't make them. There are plenty of jobs in the military that don't involve pulling a trigger. If they still object, well, let's just say there's no shortage of prison cells. Young people need direction. I certainly did. I didn't go into the military. I would have been very angry if you'd forced me to, but having been in a Buddhist monastery, I can tell you it's pretty much the same thing. It's good for you. It's good for you, okay? Priests are being drafted by the church load. What? Prisons pop up as government gets tough on crime. Defense industry welcomes new government spending. Income's rising, economist says. Elderly welcome return of traditional values. Impregnated by aliens? Our facts will shock you. Ooh, I got a new thing. I got two new things. Dissent is treason. Harshly suppressed political opposition. And windswept. Address 6 issues. No, you can object, and you can still be in the military. You can serve the military and keep us, safe, but not by killing people. It'll make you a better person. People just don't understand me. I need to be clearer with my edicts from now on, and I will be. Military demands increased spending. Jesus. Really? Are we that threatened? The Department of Defense has put its case for a substantial increase in funding for the coming Kumum. I can't read today. It's probably not a good day to do nation-states, is it? These are turbulent times we live in, says Defense Chief Luke Weasley. Turbulent and dangerous, and the only sensible response to that, of course, is to build a lot more weapons. Unless we get the funding we need, I can't promise that we'll be able to defend PawnTucky's sovereign borders from rogue nations, and we are a rogue nation. So, they're with us. We gotta look out for the non-rogue nations, for the people who think that they're, in charge around here. Or those leaky boatloads of refugees, for that matter. Now, no. Whatever you're saying, no. We're letting in the refugees, okay? We were refugees once. Didn't I choose that as it? No, I didn't choose that as it. We were all refugees. We're refugees from, life. Let me go. My God, is it over yet? No more bombs, chant the protesters outside Parliament House in a repetitious and increasingly annoying appeal. Spokesperson Billy Lee, speaking through a feedback-afflicted microphone, says, PawnTucky, give me your weapon, not more. Ready to war, is our now. We must be prepared for the inevitabilities of war. However, we'll leave that until tomorrow. No more bombs, is what I say. Military funding has been stripped back. More money for the people. I will pass it out amongst you. Military base converted to well-defended retirement village. Demonstration ends in reasonable discussion and handshakes. See? Modern music, just noise. Citizens say, I know, it's horrible. School feet, huge success. Feet? That have to do with feces or something? Burger King, what is in your beef? Cloning research promises new breakthrough. All right, let's get out of the war industry for a moment, shall we? Scientists using cloned human embryos for research are on the verge of a medical breakthrough. It's really very exciting, says lab head Kristen Chekhov. Until now, we've kept very quiet. I didn't have anything to do with that. Just because there's armed guards standing on either side of you, don't think you can't speak. Shut up! Shut up! We've kept very quiet to avoid being targeted by lunatic fringe groups who for some reason think it's wrong to clone human embryos. It's too early to promise anything, but we hope that one day we will have genetic cures for a whole range of debilitating illnesses. I certainly hope the government will support our work. If you haven't heard, recently, scientists were able to give the ability to walk back to I believe a chimpanzee or, something that's 96% the same genetic chromosomes, that couldn't walk anymore because of a spinal cord injury, which, knowing the way science works, they probably gave it the spinal cord injury in order to do the test. But let's not focus on that. Because of, pushing forward science, human beings who cannot walk, because we're gonna get there. And it's exactly this kind of research that needs to keep going if we're going to get there. Well, if you have to be part of a lunatic fringe group to object to this barbaric practice, I'm a lunatic, says placard-waving protester Norman Van Gogh, who doesn't have an ear. We can grow that on the back of a mouse if you'll just give us a few years. Of course it would be nice to cure these unnamed diseases, but at what cost? They're messing with the sanctity of human life. It's wrong, and the lab should be shut down immediately. Well, that was a very well-stated objection that I completely ignored. More lab rats, please. Technology leading PawnTucky to bright, clickable future. Are we doing VR? Is everybody going to be implanted into a virtual reality? Because I'm for that as well. Parents teach preschoolers preemptive strike doctrine. Government official cuts ribbon on new hospital wing. Tourism industry discounts benefit locals. Okay, that's a lot of multi-syllabic words. My brain is not on today. I need some Burger King. What's in the beef? Oh, look at the recent trends. Bananas ingested per day has gone up by 152%. That's great. Everyone's getting their potassium. Scientific advancement, intelligence, public health care, weather, lifespan. It's all going up. And the obesity rate is going down. And niceness. People are not smiling as much per day. Well, they say it takes more effort to frown than to smile. But it takes effort to smile as well. So, if we're trying to consolidate effort, let's just all Botox for the win. House mice on the dinner table? The house mouse? The house mouse is our national animal. Are you kidding me? In a bid to provide a new revenue stream for PawnTucky's beef-based agriculture industry, Burger King, what the hell? It has been suggested that house mice should be added to the menu. The house mouse is our animal. I didn't say house mice, so either the game is incredibly, well-programmed to be able to convert mouse to the plural mice, or this is just happening to come down, in which case, I'm amazing. The fact is, the house mouse population is out of control, says beef-based agriculture spokesperson Sabrina Kardashian. Oh yes, let's of all people listen to the Kardashians' political views. We have to do something about them anyway, so why not market them as tasty snacks? We could have house mouse kebabs, house mouse pies, house mouse on a sticks. The possibilities are endless. Let's not pass up this golden opportunity to provide a feast, if you will, for our economy. You actually saw that sounds tasty, and there are a lot of them. They are the national animal, but no reason that can't be the national menu. I agree that something needs to be done about house mouse overpopulation, says random passerby Eston Gilman, but eating them, that's kind of gross. Let us shoot the ones we have to and shovel their bodies into ditches like normal. Is this what we're doing in my country? God, I need to take even more control. Leaving you guys with any liberties whatsoever, you just ruin the place. I am shocked and appalled, declares SPCA President Freddie Insufficient. I am shocked and appalled also at your family's crest. If anyone needs to be culled, it's us humans. The house mice were here first, remember? We need to take this as a sign to get our industry, agriculture in particular, to back off. The house mouse is part of what makes PawnTucky a great nation. God, none of these options, none of them speak to me. Except for eating them. Eating them, if we're gonna kill them, then we might as well eat them. So number 2 is out. We're not going to just kill them and shovel them into a ditch. If you're going to kill it, eat it. And if we don't do something about the overpopulation of the house mouse, then all of the wires in our house are just going to get chewed through. We're going to find those really smelly little nests that they make. Going to be picking little crushed rat turds off of our socks. We gotta do something with them. It's our national animal, and it's tasty as hell. Culinary special, 12 tasty house mouse recipes. Are we on one of those sites? Old woman waits in vain for help crossing road. What? Helper flush with cash, our shopping guide inside. 2 stabbed in parking dispute. Engine room of economy ticking over nicely. Okay, so adding the house mouse into the, into their recipes has helped our economy a little bit, which is not a bad thing. It wasn't my intention. I don't want, private industry getting much of a foothold here, but apparently rush hour, develop a strong cattle industry. Are we calling little laboratory mice cattle now? On the menu, eat your national animal. And we have. The game is just that smart. It knew it was the national animal. Wow. Agriculture is up, economic output. Oh, more beers for everyone. That's good. Average income boost, charmlessness, Kardashian reflex score of 0.6. Oh, God. Yes, we listened to them, didn't we? Our lifespan went down a little bit, but we're just refining the, mouse-eating technology. Pacifism is down, compassion is down by 1%, okay? We'll get it back. We are gonna help old ladies across the street from now on, or else I will kill all of you. Oh my God, the tourism took a big tank, though. They're house mice. You don't have to eat them. We've got other things. I think they replaced the whole menu. They might not have even had to. You know what I mean? Our final issue of the day, ladies and gentlemen, trout farming workers strike. Workers across the nation have gone out on an indefinite strike over what they claim are substandard wages in the trout farming industry. Are we still doing trouts? I thought it was all about house mice. We are the backbone of this country, and we demand a fair wage rise. A fair raised wage. There's gotta be a better way to say that. I don't think a 20% increase over 2 years is too much to ask. Unless the government forces employers to give us our due, we'll shut this whole industry down. Let's see how well PawnTucky's economy manages without any trout farming, huh? Well, dude, we got the mouse now. I think we're mining plutonium or something from last time. You're not as important as you think you are. We pay our employees very generous wages, says employer representative Sven Carey, especially when you consider that without us, they'd be out on the street. Hear that, you scumbags? Out on the street. Anyway, my point is, if you cave in, you make our entire industry uncompetitive. You can't do that in the global marketplace. It'll hurt the whole country. Best solution, economically speaking, would be to relax industrial laws and allow us to fire troublemakers on the spot. Yep, screw you. We're not breaking the backs of the unions, okay? I live in a country where we did that. Didn't turn out too well. For us, economics, not everything, government says. Exactly. Modest tax increase helps build a better PawnTucky. Indeed it does. Cinematic reruns prove popular. In our country? PawnTuckian parents concerned about youth employment. Is employment down? I guess maybe they're not hiring people just to be dicks to me. We've addressed 10 issues. I'm snowed in, I'm screwed now. But tourism is back up, taxation is back up, which is how I like it. Environmental beauty, lifespan, pacifism, human development index. Employment and intelligence is down, but we're still working out the amount of lead in the mouse content. They eat the paint chips, and we're still working on abatement here. In case you couldn't get in after the first episode of NationStates came down, the password has been reset to pawnforprez, and it's open once more. We may kick you out eventually, if you're just not maintaining your country. They may kick me out eventually, but for now we can all play together is what we're saying. The free land of Illicity. Really, puppies for everyone. Wow, civil rights are excellent, economy is strong, and political freedoms are very good. How do you do that? The free land of Illicity is a tiny, socially progressive nation, notable for its public flogging. Oh yeah, the floggings. Unlimited speed roads. Can we get, bandwidth like that? Where they don't charge me an extra $50 a month because I use a lot of it. And suspicion of poets. Okay, so on the surface, everything looks fine, but your country is a mess, Illicity. I should have connected with me about 30 seconds ago. This is Rex, and that logo I designed for him. Oh, wow. It occasionally lands on me that we have a, real community here, and I don't know how to feel about it, because, it centers around me, and that's just a bad idea. Let's have a look in at Pawnsilvania and see how we're doing on the board. We are 39th. How are you ranking me? Because if it were in consumption of house mice, I would be number 1. Apparently, my economy is struggling and political freedom has been outlawed. That's how I want it. Thank you very much. I will decide for you. Rogue nation of Pawntucky, tiny, socially progressive nation, renowned for its state-planned economy, punitive income tax rates, and devotion to social welfare. You see, on the surface, a lot of red. Looks bad, but when you get down into get down into how people actually live, it's a wonderful place. The compassionate, cynical, devout population of 14 million, just 14 million. Military funding has been stripped back. Scientists regularly clone human beings for research purposes. House mice are considered a delicacy, and the nation is ravaged by daily union strikes. Well, I think I've done enough good for one day. What do you think, Burger King? I am the Ronin Pawn! And if I have my way, we'll all be eating mice. A mouse in every pot. A mouse in every pot. I'm changing the slogan now. A mouse in every pot. Pawn out.